Ana Oli, Pop Rock Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Rock Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hits från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Rock Radio med Jamie Roxx.
Radio talk show. I'm your host, pop art painter Jamie Roxx. This is the big show. You found it. I'm glad you did. This is cool how this is happening tonight, because apparently Brian, my guy over at the famous, fantastic folks at Curtain Call Records, messaged me the other night. He met this band and I guess he saw them play. They had a meeting or something. And then now, you know how it goes, people. Mr. Big rolls into the venue, lighting cigars with $100 bills. That's how I imagine Brian waltzing into the club and signs bands. And no, I'm kidding. Brian doesn't do that. I couldn't even picture Brian with a cigar. I don't know. Maybe he's... Anyhow, he messaged me that night. I got a message real late, and this band is fucking awesome. If you don't want them on the show, I know you're just going to want to hear this band. They're fantastic. And so I listened to it a little bit, and I'm like, what do you mean I don't want them on the show? Yeah, of course I want them on the show. They're fantastic. You're right. So here they are. This is just a couple days ago, too. Very cool. Maybe a week ago, I can't remember. But the name of the band, they are from the greater Tampa, Florida area. That's the Gulf side of the coast, Florida, the Gulf side. We are over at the other side of Florida. Florida's a little peninsula, for those who don't. But they are fantastic. I've heard all the cool people live over where they live. And so far, we were talking before we came on the camera, and yeah, that's very true. The cool people live over there. Without further ado, the name of the band, they're called Silver Bullet Smile. They are just a kick-ass heavy metal band. And we've got Thursday, frontman and lead vocalist on, and drummer extraordinaire, Mr. Niko, is on also. Silver Bullet Smile. Hey, folks, and before we even get into it, I want to remind everybody, we've got all the links in the description down below. These are all clickable. And you're probably seeing their band logo flying around your video right now. Yeah, all that, the band logo isn't clickable, but all the links are clickable. Anyhow, guys, how you doing? What's going on?
Great, and we're doing great, and thank you for having us on your show at this very last minute, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, man. Not a problem. You're such a good band. I've got so many questions. I looked because I was looking at your stuff today, and I was reading the description. Brian sent over the description and whatnot, and I was looking at the description over on your YouTube page, and it didn't really sound. You guys sound super tight, though. You sound like you've been together for a while. Is this a new project or one that's been going for a minute? Because you guys are a tight band.
Just to put a little history on that, we started about actually almost 3 years ago now.
Okay.
It was me and the guitar player. We got together. We found Thursday, and he brought some great stuff to the table as far as lyrics and song ideas. So we started looking for our sound, and this is what we're coming up with. The guitar player has a lot of 80s influence. I have a lot of Disturbed 5-finger Death Punch influence.
Nice.
And I guess Thursday, I would say he has the Tool, Metallica, that kind of influence. So again, you mix all that together and you get Silver Bullet Smile. So that's what our sound is. That's
fantastic. And Thursday, I've seen the photos on your Instagram page and whatnot. Thursday's a big guy. Jesus
yes,
Christ.
He is.
You know, puts him off the bar.
Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Right.
You're doing good, Thursday.
I don't like getting pissed off, especially at bars. It's not fun.
I'm telling you, I saw a picture of you standing somewhere, and many years ago, I was visiting a friend in Denver, Colorado, and I went to this bar called, because they're like, you're Native American. You want to go to an Indian bar? I'm like, an Indian bar? What is it? And they're like, no, it's Indian Feathers, not Dot. You'll love it.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. So we went down there. It was just a bar. People in there, a lot of natives in there. A couple guys, a white guy and a Thursday-sized Indian was playing pool. And something happened. Fisticuffs ensued. And I saw this white guy hit this guy in the forehead with a pool cue, and the pool cue broke on his head, and he started laughing at the guy. And I'm like, holy shit, we got to get out of here. This is not going to end well. And my friend was like, we're not even in it. I said, doesn't matter. When the cops show up, they will take everybody in here away. And I don't want to be in lockup with that guy. So we crawled out of there on our hands and knees, avoiding broken glass and chairs being thrown. It was the biggest bar fight I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, don't piss people Thursday size off at the bar.
He's a monster. He's not only tall, but he's muscular as hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I try to keep it together.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. There will be a line of groupies out the venue. That's going to happen. Of course, Niko, you got drummers. The cool thing, I've never been in a band. I've never had musical talent. My day job, I'm a painter. I paint every day. And that's how I make my living. Been doing that for a long 25 years and professionally. But growing up, I grew up in Metro Detroit. Everybody I hung out with were musicians because musicians are cool. They know the most girls, they have the best parties, and they're just fun to hang out with. So that's who I hung out with. But I picked a few things up over the years hanging out with all these crazy people. One about drummers, and I always ask drummers this because I find it fascinating. Usually drummers, they're in like 87 bands. Oh, we're going to go on tour. Oh, Niko's going to have to check with it because drummers are hard to find. And you can't have a rock band and go on stage with an 808 machine or something. That ain't going to work. You know what I mean? It ain't. Yeah. I've seen people try and it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't come across. You can do backing tracks and a lot of things, but not drums. You can't do backing tracks and drums.
No. So you guys, you started the band and everything, and then you guys like ran into Thursday or something and said,
we ran ads on Band Mix. It's a pretty popular site.
It's like
look for musicians. So we ran ads and I saw it Thursday and I fell in love.
Nice.
So it was just like a dating site.
So that's good though.
But so that's the way it went. And then we found we've gone through many bass players actually through the couple of years. And the bass players are hard to find as well, at least good ones. And musicians in general are tough to find musicians that just have it all together, have the whole package.
Exactly.
And I think we have that now.
Yeah, you got to be a good hang. That is something. I have a friend of mine she's more in I would say the country rock vein. She lives in Nashville. She plays everything. And the majority of the money she makes is what they call a hired gun. For those out there who don't know, when a band goes on tour and the bass player, for whatever reason, can't make it, they'll call in a hired gun. And you got to pay that person, but they will learn all the songs. That's what they do. There's people that just really just do this. But I asked her, I said, I get it. You're a hired gun. You've been on 125 albums from different people that they'll hire and they're like, hey, you were great on tour. Can you sit in? We're going to do this. And yeah, of course. And I said, what's your secret? And she goes, the number one thing, Jamie, isn't necessarily talent, isn't always talent. You got to be a good hang. You got to be fun to hang out with. And people will hang out with you if you are. If you're a jerk, nobody wants to hang out with you.
Especially when you're trying to write music, because people bring things to the table that they're emotionally attached to, whether it's a style of playing or lyrics or an idea that they have. So if you get someone that doesn't want to work, it's just going to end up being a fucking shit show eventually.
Yeah. And they take it. That's one of the things I know in the painting world, and I tell youngsters all the time this, I said, you got to get a thicker skin because you can't take everything personally because people are going to have some opinions on what you're doing. And
I've had two people tell me in the past, they told me that I sound like the guy from
these days.
I forget his name. The lead singer.
What'd they tell you?
You're fading out.
But Nickelback.
Were you singing in French?
No, Nickelback.
No, Nickelback. I thought he said from Quebec.
I wish I could sing in French. That
I was thinking he said Quebec. Oh, from Nickelback.
Yeah.
You know what?
He's breaking up a little bit.
People bitch about
I'm like,
Nickelback.
I'll take that shit.
Nickelback.
And I'd rather sound
I
like
think they fly in a
myself,
private
but
jet.
with somebody that is successful, I'll
Fuck
take that all day.
Yeah, you know, it's that's
Yeah.
when I get. Oh, your paintings look like Andy Warhol's. I'm like, yeah, I wish I had his money.
No kidding.
Hook a brother up. Jesus.
Band mix,
But
yeah.
that's cool. You guys found each other, and I wish I would have. That's a great idea for a website.
Yeah,
The band, what's it called? Band mix? Or
I-
something like
Band
put-
mix, yes.
I wish
I
I would
put
have
my
thought of
profile
that.
out there.
I would have that
and,
Andy Warhol money.
I just got
He's
married,
smoking
just had a
Right.
some of
baby.
Brian's cigars.
I hadn't really thought about it a whole lot. And Niko called me up out of the blue one day. And he's,
Wow.
hey, I like your profile, man. Here's some music. What can you do with it? So I got a notebook with, I don't even know how many songs, quite a bit. And I'm like, oh, this might fit. So I recorded it I had a minivan at the time, because new dad.
Nice.
And I don't want to wake the wife up. So I'm in the driveway, screaming in the microphone in the minivan.
Yeah.
And he's, oh man, that's pretty good. Come and meet us. So that's how that went down.
The neighbors were like, what the hell? That's awesome. That's awesome. Niko's sitting in his home studio. For those just listening to audio, I see his drum kit set up behind him. You know,
That's one of two that I have. This is the electronic set. This set I record with.
you can use headphones.
We practice. Yes, and we practice with, so we don't have the cops here. I've experienced that in the past. Yeah, and after you play the song, I'll talk to you a little bit about how we record and everything.
Well, let's do that.
And who mixes our
Yeah,
stuff.
let's do that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, because that way we can give people a taste of what we're talking about. This is pretty new. Now, this is available, right? The House of Stone that we're going to
Yes.
play. Okay, here it is, everybody.
Yes, it's on all streaming.
Nice. This is Silver Bullet Smile, and yeah, I want to ask about your guys' name too. This is House of Stones. Here it is.
If these walls could scream out loud, would you even care? If they were to crumble down, would I find you there? Searching for the boogeyman under my deathbed. Instead I found him in the mirror, laughing in my head. There's no place like home. I just want to be left alone. Here I lay in my house of stone. Rooms of shadow people. Scrape my fingers to the goddamn blood. Locked inside. House of stone. Paint is peeling like old skin, cut by window pane. Blood and mud and love and sin always taste the same. Breathe into me and I'll become you. One breath to live. One day at a time to get through. Something's got to get Rooms and rooms of shadow people scrape my fingers to the goddamn bone. Locked inside.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. I told you that's a kick-ass track.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's it?
That's number 6. That's our 6th single.
Wow. How cool. You guys got the coolest job in the world. Man, that is awesome. Now, I notice you guys in your logo, your videos, etc., you have a thing, and I'm a visual arts guy, and I approve wholeheartedly because I love painting them. Kind of like the skull images there a little bit, and the Grim Reaper and things of that nature. Has that always been?
We tossed around a bunch of different ideas.
The band.
I was always big on sugar skulls as a visual representation, and it's something that a lot of people across different cultures can relate to. And I wanted to go with that originally, and we just felt like that was a little cliche and overplayed out a little bit. We just tossed around a bunch of different ideas, and our main logo is actually the back of a bullet, if you look closely, and the silver bullet smile is like the rim around the bullet, like they would put like Remington or whatever on it. And then the skull, our guitar player, his wife actually helped us out with that. If you look really closely, there's a bunch of different shapes within the skull that create the skull. So we were happy with that.
How cool is that? I love it. Now, Niko, you were saying something about the way you record it. Like, I'm assuming you have a home studio, right? You get everything ready to go and then probably go into the big studio for the mastering and whatnot.
We found a way that worked very well for us. Everything's digital today. This is a digital world. So the guitar player does digital. There's no more playing through amplifiers like the old days where you had to mic them up. And so he goes through digital amps. I go through digital drums. Thursday records his vocals just like he would normally record vocals here in the studio, a home studio. And same with the bass player. Then what we did is the challenge for us was finding somebody that can mix and master it and really do a good job with it. So we were searching. We tried 3 different recording studios, producers, and we're from Prague to the Ukraine. They were sending them out and they're coming back and we're like, oh my God, it's awful. So finally, I'm a big 5-finger death punch guy and a Disturbed guy. And my wife goes one day, she goes, where do they record? And I'm like, we can't afford that. It's just way above our
You never
budget.
know.
So she said, email them or call them. And then we did. And what happened was we found out they recorded at the Hideaway Studio in Las Vegas. Okay. So we sent a thing and they came back and they said, okay, we can do that. It's not cheap, but we can do that. And we're going to give you an engineer. And I said, who's the engineer? And they said, Tristan Harden. We look him up right away. He's the engineer that engineers 5-Finger Death Punch's albums, Disturbed albums, Slipknot's albums. So that's where we get some of our sound from. And he co-produces some of our music.
That's amazing
as well.
And anybody out there that's watching or listening, this is some great effing advice. Great advice. You never know. And the great thing, we all bitch about social media and the modern age and everything, especially as old folks totally are always bitching about stuff. And yes, it's true. You find out your aunt's racist. We get it. We've all been there. But the thing is, we live in an era where you actually have access to this shit. I am like old enough to remember back in the 80s and stuff when I was coming up, you'd really be into a band. And all the information you had about them was either on liner notes of the album or something you've read in a magazine. And that's great, and that was fine. But today, there was no Instagram. There was none of that bullshit. You couldn't just message somebody or email them and get a response. Shit. I would have been messaging Neil Peart. I would have had some suggestions for the next Rush album, definitely. He wouldn't have listened because he shouldn't have, but I would have felt pretty cool. No, you just never know. And it's my wife, when we got married, what was it, 2020, whatever, COVID, we got married the week before the world shut down. She's really into, first off, she's she would love Thursday's musical tastes. She's really into new metal. She loves that kind of shit. And both of you, yours too, Niko. She's a big Five Finger Death Punch fan. But her latest obsession, Jesus Christ, every time we get in the car, is Sleep Token. And I'm like, oh, great. I didn't want to do anything for the next 15 minutes anyway, because they go a little long. I got to admit, I'm not bitching. I'm just.
Oh, yeah, Sleep Token. But they're one of the hottest bands out today.
Oh, she loves them. She loves them. But anyway, before we got married, she was in love with, there was this guy named Puddles the Clown, and he dressed up like a clown, and he did covers of crazy songs. He'd sing Johnny Cash.
I've seen that on YouTube.
And mix it up with like Pinball Wizard. It was weird, very weird. We're both artists, of course. We're listening to weird shit. Yeah, and she's really into him. So I'm like, you know what? Without her knowing, I'm like, I got all these connections in the music biz and stuff. Surely somebody, I can get my foot in the door here and find a manager or somebody and just see how much it would cost to have Puddles perform at our wedding reception. That was my idea. I'm like, surely it's only a couple grand to make this happen. I can sell some paintings and make this happen. And I get the email back, and they're like, yeah, he can do that. We can make this happen. It'll be 10 to 15,000. I'm like, Puddles is going to perform at our 10-year wedding anniversary. That'll be a goal to reach for. Of course, by then it'll be $80,000 or something. But yeah, he didn't make an appearance. I will admit, but I tried. But yeah, you never know, man. That is so cool.
A lot of time on there. We're doing it ourselves.
Christ, how cool is that?
Too much, and the learning
Nobody
curve
else
was
can
too
say
high.
that.
Spending all of our time
we're thrilled.
learning how to do that instead of making more music. So it worked out really well for us.
Absolutely. You bring up also a good point. I have a joke that I always say because I'm old. I don't know what a WhatsApp is. My joke that I always say is I need to hire a 15-year-old teenage girl with a cell phone to do all my social media shit. You know what I mean? Because they seem to know all this stuff real well. I do not.
Yes.
Somebody tried to ask me the other day about Photoshop. They had a Photoshop question. They messaged, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Are you kidding me? My life would be easier if I did, but I ain't taking a learning annex class. It ain't going to happen. I ain't learning that shit. And I think I can see it. You guys having to go up against analog engineers and shit, the people that are used to sitting at that big ass mixing board, way different when it's all digital and on a screen and stuff. God, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so actually, even in the big recording studios today, not many of them are using the analog boards anymore. Everything's going through computers. There's no more days. Yeah, that's all gone. And then you drop it down to a 1/4-inch tape and then go to CDs. Of course, it's all digital. So the sound's much greater. The sound's amazing today.
Well, it's probably a lot more efficient because, like you were saying, bands now can say, here's a kick-ass, here's my part of this kick-ass track. Here's the drums. Let me shoot it over to the bass player. He can add his thing. And, you know,
exactly.
Because I don't think young people, they watch the Doors movie and stuff, and they see stuff in movies and on TV, and they think, oh, I'm just going to go to the studio and hang out. You can do that, but you're paying for it. Going to a studio is like riding in a cab. The meter is down and it's going constantly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think new people don't really realize that until they get the rude awakening. And yeah, if you can do as much as you can outside that cab beforehand, be prepared to make that visit as quick as possible, because you're going to need your cash for other shit, lyric videos and stuff. People don't just, hey guys, here's a lyric video for you. I just thought I'd donate. That didn't happen. Checks have to be written.
Oh, let's talk about videos. Did you watch the video to
House of Stone?
To the House of Stone? That was made by a bass player in a day.
Oh.
And then if you look at Man in the Moon, you go on YouTube and look at Man in the Moon.
Smiling, asking, could we walk and chew every move that you make? I shall be watching over you. Friends that do for each other will be brother. Kill your noise, kill your voice, kill your choice. I'll never let you go.
and Pray, you had Thursday created both days
I don't
those
remember.
AI
Give or
videos.
take.
And the one AI video took them 30 hours, right? Around 30 hours about Thursday.
That's fantastic.
Something like that.
I-
But it's pretty
Yeah, I
amazing.
see a lot of people bitching about AI. I use AI all the fucking time. Somebody will be like, I want a gal. Had this happen the other day. I want a nun in the painting, but she's turning into a werewolf. I'm like, man, where do I find a fucking photo reference for that? There's an AI website. You go and you pay a little money, but you type that in there. And I'm like, can you move this slightly here? And it does. And I'm like, perfect. Hold that. Let me start sketching. And there's my photo reference. It helped me out tremendously. Right. And I get people are bitching about it, but I don't see anybody with any skill set bitching about that. And I think it's great. When we post stuff on eBay, because we sell a lot of stuff on eBay, and we'll put the painting up and it'll say, because you got to type in the description, which I hate doing. And because it's just weird to, yeah, this painting's great, you should buy it. It says, do you want AI to write the description? Shit, yes, I do. Work out, AI. Just save me 45 minutes of my day. Shit. I don't know. I see people bitching about it.
To create something.
I think most of these people just like to bitch about something, at least in the painting.
And you're taking away like any kind of your own input. I could see where that's where people will get mad at that. But if you're using it for like inspiration or putting something in your mind out there that you wouldn't be able to do unless you had that medium, then I don't see any problem with it personally.
Yeah, I could have paid some model, find some gal with a tattoo on her neck and say, okay, I need you to dress up like a nun here, and then hire a special effects makeup guy to come in and turn her into a... I guess I could have done all... I ain't doing that. I wouldn't have... It would have cost me money to paint that painting.
Yes.
It's weird because it's just a tool. It's just a tool, at least the way I do it. And I'll tell you a little secret in the painting world. When I come up with the painting, it is the easy peasy part of it. For me, it's not a big deal. I can paint anything. And the bigger the check, the better I get. But the bitch of it is coming up with the idea. And I painted a painting 6 times in my head before I put a brush to canvas. That's the hard part, coming up with the idea. But yeah.
Very much like writing a song. When we write a song, we're trying to come up with ideas, which direction to go. Some things work, some things don't work, and sometimes it just clicks like that.
Fantastic. I celebrate those when they don't fight you and it just works. Yes, that is the best, because that doesn't happen all the time. People never know that because they see in your guys' case, we hear the finished product. We're like, oh, it sounds great. Blah blah blah. They must have rolled out of bed this morning and knocked this out. It's a 30-minute track, obviously. If they're that talented. Then nobody sees it when it fights you. I have a shelf right here I'm pointing to that. I don't want to move the camera, but I have paintings that are in the process of fighting me right now. That you got to walk away for a little bit. You got to come back to it. Half of these I'm ready to throw in the street. I have never done that yet, but I thought about it. Yeah, it's just the cursed painting. I'm sure you guys have had that with music too. Hey, I mentioned a little bit that Brian saw you guys perform the other night. He said you guys were amazing. And Niko, you had mentioned on Thursday too that you guys are playing this Wednesday, right? Like this coming Wednesday? Nice. Yes. Nice. And that's in your neck of the woods there, right?
So we're playing at the Brass Mug, and we got a chance to open up for a national act that's coming into town, and they're called Kill Devil Hill, which they're like a super group. They call them a super group. Back years ago, Vinny Appice actually started the band. And if you know anything about Vinny, he's a drummer, and he played for Black Sabbath and Dio, and he started this band. So now the bass player for this band was the original bass player for Five Finger Death Punch. He played on the first 3 albums. I think one of the guys is from Pantera. There's a couple of different guys from different big bands. So they're pretty big. And again, we got a chance to open up this show, and it's our first show we're opening up for a national act. So it is on a Wednesday, but anybody that can come out there would be great. I think you're gonna see some great music.
Phenomenal. That's
Hear
phenomenal.
some great music.
I don't know how it is on your guys' side of the state. I know where I'm at. It's weird because anywhere else you go, maybe with the exception of Las Vegas, is, oh, we're playing this weekend or whatnot. Florida is kind of weird because I went to a swap meet one time. You go to the swap meet, they're always on a Saturday or something. Anywhere else, this was on a Tuesday. It doesn't matter here what day of the week it is. People still go to this shit. It's very strange, but that's cool, man. What an opportunity. And just even meeting these guys and hanging out with them and shit like that.
Yes.
Oh, I'm stoked. I'm jealous, but I'm stoked for you guys. You know, how cool is that?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for us.
Absolutely. That's cool, man. And you never know. You just never know. You meet somebody, and I've had this happen a few times. You don't even hear from them for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they need some work done, and the phone starts ringing, and you're like, holy shit, I'm glad I did that gig. That's
right.
Yeah, it really. I tell everybody I know, man, network as much as you can. If there's a film festival in town, it doesn't matter. I've never seen a movie that doesn't have music in it. Go meet some of those people.
That's right.
And your guys' music, you could rob a bank to it. You could meet a hot gal to it. It's
maybe
fantastic.
All three.
You could do a lot of things. Have a gunfight. That would work. And maybe in the same night. Jesus. There you go. There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know you guys are releasing singles and whatnot. And like you had mentioned, these are all, and we have links, folks, to the stream. Everything that is Silver Bullet Smile is right there. You just click it and you're right there. And are you guys going to package all these singles at some point? Do you think in an EP or an album or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's called the waterfall effect. So we've been releasing singles. We're at the 6th single right now, so we're going to probably release 4 more singles or 3 more, and then release it as an album with 1 or 2 new songs on it. Because right now, being with the Curtain Call Records, it's given us an opportunity to distribute through the Orchard, which is part of Sony Music, which will help us get our music out there a little bit more, and give us a chance to actually maybe get our music played.
Absolutely. I'll tell you a little secret about Curtain Call. And again, I'm not in the business. Nobody from Curtain Call sends me a check, folks. So I'm just being, as what do the kids say, transparent today. But yeah, they know everybody. I have had this happen multiple times because I'll be talking to a club, not so much for music production or anything like that, but usually on the art side. They want paintings for the club or whatever. Or I'm a retired club rat. I lived in nightclubs for about 2 decades. And sometimes people just want my advice on stuff. But I was talking to somebody in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they're like, you're in Florida, right? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, you know the guys over at Curtain Call? I'm like, yeah, how do you know the guys over at Curtain Call? Same thing happened. I was talking to somebody in Prague. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys know everybody. So that's just an observation from the outside looking in. I'm glad you guys are working with them because I think that's going to pay off. They seem really good to me. I've never heard a bad thing about them, and I can't say that about other labels and PR companies and whatnot. They're not all bad, but yeah.
No, they're not all bad. You got to just like they expect us to do our part, and we expect them to do their part, and then it's a good marriage, and we'll go someplace together. Somebody you can't have where one don't do their part, and it's gonna fail. So we're a hardworking band, and we really want to make 2025 our
like
year.
what we say in practice all the time.
I think we're right where we need to be,
job.
And hopefully by the end of this year,
absolutely,
some big things are happening for us.
Job.
Yeah. Everybody works. That is our family motto here. Everybody works. I was outside. I took my crazy dog outside earlier today. She needed to go potty, so I took her out back. And we're going out back, and I look down as we're walking, and I see we have a black racer snake that lives in a hedge in our backyard. He used to have another name, and my wife forbid me to use the term Blackie for his name, so he's Speedy now. And I'm old. I'm doing my best, folks. I'm doing my best. But anyway, we saw Speedy. He was chilling out. He did the whole sup nod, and I sup, Speedy. But I'm so glad he's there because I've never seen a rat in our backyard. Because everybody works.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, you want to live here? That's fine, but do your job. Yeah,
do your job.
It has to be that way. It has to be that way. And for any project, I don't care what you're doing.
Hey,
but for a band, especially,
I'm like, what do you want me to sing?
It,
I don't do your fucking job.
Figure it out. That's got to be. Seriously, that's got to be hard too, because I know everybody will come up with a song with lyrics and not be familiar with the vocalist's like range or something. And what the fuck is this? What do they want me to do here? I've often wondered about that.
Man.
It's but you sound great. You sound great in everything I've heard. So that's good. That's a good thing. Yeah. So that's cool. We'll break a leg this Wednesday. And everybody, we in the link below, we'll have where they're playing and that place's website and whatnot. Do people need to get tickets from the band, or can they just go to the venue and get tickets? Okay, cool.
At the venue.
Niko, like we were talking.
Yeah. And we're hitting the stage at 8:00, just so everybody knows. So it's from 8 to 11. All the bands. There's a total of 4 bands playing that night. We are going on first at 8:00.
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
Come see us,
absolutely.
Make sure you're there in time.
Me and Niko were talking before the show, and we've both lived in Southern California. Jesus Christ. Okay, you got 500 tickets. You better sell them. I'm busy rehearsing for the show. What the fuck do you want me to do?
That's right.
I'm so glad you guys aren't in that situation.
That's right.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Latest I heard from my friends out west, some of these venues are now trying to get part of the merch table. I'm like, Jesus, are you kidding me? The merch table? No, you don't get any of that. You don't get any of that. So I'm getting a cut of martinis. You're not getting shit.
And you notice that part? Yeah, exactly. Bands on tour, the biggest money they make is on their merch. They're not making that much money on the touring unless you're the headline band. So you gotta sell
I've
the
known
merch,
so many bands that have been on tour. And that's how they bought Denny's, which was the only real meal they had that day, was from the money from the merch table after the show or whatnot. And that's the reality, folks. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. If you're young or you're new in a new band and going on tour is great. You should definitely do that. No, get the word out, but don't be surprised sometimes on how the experience of going on tour can be. I've heard some stories, and I know a lot of bands. My wife's Sicilian, and we have a washer and dryer. So a lot of bands come through. It happens. And that's okay. Anyway, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You guys are real good at it. Seriously. It's working. You know what I mean? It's working. You're talking to the right people, obviously. And got the coolest job in the world, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate having us on again. Like I said earlier, having us on
you
tonight.
You guys are cool, turned up to 10. This won't be the last time you guys are on the show. I'll be bugging you. I'll be bugging you. And I'll be going on.
All right.
I think is it you, Niko, that have the 48 Instagram titles for your personal page as well? I looked up Silver Bullet Smile on Instagram, and I think it was Niko had a couple of, it's not 47, but a couple also, like personal. Oh, okay. Maybe I got one. I remember seeing something.
I don't have a bunch, no.
I think it was the bass player.
Maybe Fisher. It might be Fisher.
I think it was Fisher. Yeah.
Yeah, Fisher's got a few.
We're fucking with them, and he didn't even hear.
We can talk all.
It's something I noticed. Thursday's too big. Thursday, let me ask you this. Yeah. Now, you've been in the band, what, a couple years, you say? So your baby's a couple years old. Has he started seeing?
Oh, no, she's 3.5.
Young, but
I knew she was my baby one day when I had her in the car.
Okay.
And my song came on, and she just started headbanging. Yeah, I don't have to get a paternity test.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was going to ask. There you go. But Thursday, I wouldn't worry about it. When she gets older, just anybody that wants to take her to the school dance just has to pick her up at the house, and you answer the door. Everything will go fine. It'll be very smooth.
And came from,
Yeah, hands will be in pockets.
Cleaning the shotgun, all that good stuff.
Jesus, absolutely. That reminds me, many years ago, a million years ago. This is back in the 80s. And I was a weirdo kid. I really was. Had crazy hair, and everybody's like, yeah, we get it, Jim. You still do. But I was dating this gal, and she wanted me to meet her parents. So she invited me over for dinner. And right before I got there, she's like, my dad's like a police detective, right? I'm like, no, I did not know this. This would have been good information to have. I would have left my leather jacket at home. Jesus. So I go in there, and this guy was brilliant. He was brilliant. He was very super nice to me. And he told her afterwards, he goes, yeah, I really like him a lot. He's a good guy. And she was like, oh, I don't like him anymore at all. So that was the death. His approval was the death for me. I was like,
reverse
he did that on purpose, I bet. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man.
He did psychology on
guys, I'm going to let you go, but thanks so much for taking time to be on. And everybody, get to the show. We have a link to where you need to go. And I'm telling you, I don't care if you're 5 hours away, you can make it to the show this Wednesday. This is one of those opportunities in life. In 10 years, you'll be saying, oh, I went and saw this band. I went and saw Silver Bullet Smile, and nobody's going to believe it. They're like, yeah, shut up. No, you didn't. Are you kidding me? What'd you do after? Go have Dairy Queen with Guns N' Roses? No, come on.
There you go.
Yes, pizza with Metallica, right? Nobody will believe you. And then you pull out your phone, and you're like, no, look, there they are. I was here.
Down.
And you'll be the king of the party. Seriously. Guys, break a leg this Wednesday, and I'm going to stay right in touch. We're going to have you guys back on soon and get updates and whatnot. Keep doing it. I'm a big fan of your music.
Appreciate you.
So glad I am. Awesome. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time.
And we're going to keep doing it. Appreciate you.
This has been pop art painter Jamie Roxx's Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. It has been executive produced by Jamie Roxx, recorded at his studio in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. All rights reserved by Pop Roxx Limited.
Hannah Oli, Pop Roxx Radio.
Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Roxx Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hicks från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Roxx Radio med Jamie Roxx.